Welcome to the broadcast, my dear old fruits. Over the last few years, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have tried to convince the entire world that Prince William is an unfit heir for the throne. Yes, can you conceive of such a thing? That is exactly what they've tried to do. They've told us that William is cruel, that he is racist, that he is pugnacious, violent even, beating up his own brother, that he's prematurely aging, that he's even balder than Harry. They've told us that William is conspiring, that he's power hungry, and that he's inferior at his job and his role. You know, that Harry could do so much better. And they've told us that he is jealous of Harry's abilities, Harry's gifts, and Harry's wife. Perish the thought. Perish the thought. William has Catherine. Do you understand? In fact, it would be easier and shorter to make a list of insults that they have not hurled at William over the last few years in their tireless crusade, this assault against his character. They cannot bear the thought of him gaining any popularity, and really thought that they had the power to convince the world that he is not someone that should be admired. Well, how's that going down, Harkles? How's that going down? Like a spoonful of vinegar? You really think that they drank your Kool-Aid? Well, who shall we ask? How about Singapore? Yes, tell it to Singapore, because they gave the Prince of Wales a roar of rapturous applause as he emerged from the elevator for the Earthshot ceremony procedures in Singapore. Glorious Singapore. There were Union Jacks galore. Look at the crowds, look at them, thrilled beyond belief, more than welcoming to catch a glimpse of Big Willie. And none more so than 8-month-old Albana Costa, who stole the show. This irresistible little moment of connection, isn't it divine? The little bairn has a fondness for Prince William's finger and had a little nibble. One can't blame her. The atmosphere was electric. Any fears of some sort of damp squib abroad in Catherine's absence quashed. And we're told that the Princess of Wales stayed home to help George at this time when he's studying for exams and swatting up. She's playing mummy. Well, whatever the true reason, it is a healthy move and a brilliant move, if there is some strategy behind it, which I certainly don't rule out, however natural it may look. It is a brilliant, brilliant move, because no one can accuse him of using Catherine as a crutch of some kind. You know, piggybacking on her glamour and the column inches that all of that sort of thing will generate. No, he doesn't need to. People pondering if his good work is going to garner any attention whatsoever or pull in any crowds at all in Singapore. Well, the evidence is right before your eyes. Prince William's voice was not only drowned out by the large crowds, but it competed with the largest indoor waterfall in the world. This 40-metre water display called the Rain Vortex. Very exciting, but very loud. Prince William was extremely interactive with the crowds. He was in a wonderful mood, and it lent a very exciting atmosphere to the arrangement. And there is also some excitement on the way tomorrow, by the way, my dears. Do you realise tomorrow is an exciting day for the King? A sad one as well. You know, it's one of these bittersweet moments, but it will be his first state opening of Parliament as a king, and the first state opening of Parliament with any king for over 70 years. So that's quite a moment, isn't it, my dear? And he's expected at this moment to wear the imperial state crown and arrive in the Irish state coat. So we're going to get a bit of pomp and circumstance, hopefully. Let's see what he pulls out of the bag. And in case you didn't pick up on it, I am wearing the colours of Singapore, of the Singaporean flag, in my humble tribute to that nation for their good hospitality towards our prince. We thank you, Singapore. And Prince William joined a training session with the British Dragons at the Marina Reservoir and was in his athletic element, wasn't he, my dear? Hailed as a natural. Singaporean hearts were swooning as the youthful prince flaunted his body in a skimpy sporty two-set. His Royal Highness coquettishly flashed the flesh as he took to a team of 22 And of course, his team were victorious. They won and enjoyed a celebratory breakfast. There he is, Diana's boy. Isn't he wonderful? And the apple of Charles's eye. In stark contrast to that article that's rotten to the core. And speaking of which, I must turn to the subject of the Harkles, who've been enjoying a little date night. Are you having fun, Harold? Are you having fun? You really look like you're having a whale of a time, aren't you, at the Katy Perry gig? You've had Beyonce this week, now you have Katy Perry. What are you? 6 years old? Is it some 6-year-old birthday party? All you need is a McDonald's Happy Meal, and you'll be set. Actually, that'd be more fun, wouldn't it? Viva Las Vegas. That's where they find themselves brushing shoulders with Celine Dion. I was rather encouraged to see Celine Dion. She's got that awful, terrible stiff person syndrome, hasn't she? Which actually really upset me when I heard about that. And it's nice to see her out and about, even though we know she's been suffering. Her first public outing in 3 years. So, I genuinely mean that and wish her well. I like her as a person. But I feel sorry for having to brush shoulders with the Harkles in the VIP area or whatever it was. But that's what they do, isn't it? They're this celebrity thing, this gaudy gauche behaviour of the Arab East, hoping that the shine of stardom somehow rubs up on them and really enjoying the limelight and really basking in every inch of limelight possible, even though they tell us, don't look at us. Look, don't look at us, look. When I watch the footage of them approaching their seats, it doesn't appear to me that they had made much attempt at all in disguising their entry. And I'm not saying that they need to hide away, but how did everyone know to stand and rise and watch them shuffle in? It wouldn't really be that difficult to be a bit more demure about one's entrance. But when you arrive by private jet, it makes it a little bit more difficult, doesn't it? And, it really has come to the point where they obviously, Harry in particular, who lectures us all about green credentials, has absolutely no shame whatsoever about being completely hypocritical and contradictory about his ecological advices, doesn't he? Arriving on private jet, yes, it was part of a group, but is it really necessary to chaperone all these celebrities all over the place to watch concerts? They were all in black and didn't look bad for them. She wore Valentino, a mini dress at £5,000. And again, we had to observe and witness this woman of 43% Nigerian blood getting jiggy with it, showcasing 0% rhythm. This is what he's been reduced to. Every inch of manhood taken away from him. And I'm told that he didn't possess many inches of manhood to begin with. This is how it ends. Sitting there, bored to tears, watching Katy Perry bounce around on stage. Can you believe it? And I haven't got anything against Katy Perry. As we know, she loves the King. She loves the Waleses. She prefers them to Harry and Meghan, but she has to put up with them for appearances' sake. And I happen to know that she has talent of a kind and is a very competent pop star. Personally, I can't bear her voice. I cannot bear her voice. What's that one song I rather liked about her? Chained to the Rhythm. I like that one. And the one about food that she did. But I'm not so keen on her other big hits. I heard them singing along to Raw, for example. I can't bear that kind of thing. The voice goes right through me, I'm afraid. Not a fan, but I appreciate that she's popular and lots of people do enjoy her. For me, it's sort of kiddie music, I suppose. And Harry hates it. You can see he hates it. There's nowhere that he would least like to be at 39 years old. Because, he's not even got his children with him on this occasion as an excuse. It's because the wife wants to go and watch Katy Perry. But does she really? No, of course she doesn't. She wants to go and hang out with her so-called celebrity chums. If Cameron Diaz is still a celebrity, or this Bumble app founder that she's rubbing shoulders with, and of course sitting next to her bestie, Misha Nonu, Ninu Nonu. Where's Mork and Mindy when you need them? Meghan looked rather lovely, I thought. Yes, I've been praising her looks this year. I think she's been improving in some ways, Yes, she looked a little bit witchy, but then again it was Halloween last week. It's still Halloween season. So she's been busy. In black sequins she was, clandestine, private jet touchdowns. She thinks she's in a Sade video, this girl, doesn't she? Diamond life, lover boy, smooth operator, coast to coast, private jets, LA to Chicago or Vegas. Well, your love is not king, my dear, but guess who's gonna be? William! Now, before I go on, I've got to tell you, I've been rather emotional over the last day or two because I've had a certain earworm, a song going round in my head, and I wanted to share it with you and put it in the description box in case you haven't heard it. It's the Beatles song, and already, at the time of recording this, there's been over 20 million views, so the likelihood is that you have heard it. But you've just gotta watch it and see this video. You might know that it is the last official recording ever that will be released by the Beatles. I guess while they live or breathe, this is what they're saying. There are two left, aren't there? Paul and Ringo. And the vocals were recorded before John Lennon died, over 43 years ago, or whatever it was. But this is the first time it's been put together using AI and produced as a proper Beatles song. And it is utterly magical and so moving. If you're the kind that's a bit of a softie at heart like me and can cry fairly easily at things, I mean, I've been moved to tears several times watching this video and enjoying it so much. And I'm not going to even explain why. You'll see if you watch it, but it speaks to so much of what I speak to here on the broadcast a lot, the passing of the four seasons throughout life, reflection, nostalgia, and it's just an exquisite simple melody which is utterly genius and is shot to the top of my absolute favourites of their output. It might go on to be my favourite. I've got a soft spot for Hold My Hand, actually. I've got a soft spot for that song of theirs, I Want to Hold Your Hand. I mean, there's so many you could choose from, aren't there? So many. But this one really, really touched me. There's something very special. So if you haven't watched it, I will link it below, as I say, but do come back to the broadcast, please. I shouldn't really do this because then you'll go off and drift away and not come back. But there was no quiet moment for the Duchess of Edinburgh, our dear Sophie, because she is constantly working on our behalf, and this week she's been in Canada representing the Crown. King Charles's trophy, the gorgeous Sophie, is in Canada as Colonel-in-Chief of the Lincoln and Welland Regiment and patron of Toronto General and Toronto Western Hospitals. She watched her military regiments come together for the Countess of Wessex Cup as they competed in a series of challenging events, including navigation, observation, water rescue, and obstacle courses. The Duchess tried her hand at the Winona Rifle Range, and the competition aims to develop bonds of friendship and understanding between the regiments. Isn't it cosy? She visited a winery that specialises in ice wines and attended a dinner in support of the Regimental Foundation. You see her here in beaded erdem, isn't it divine? Metallic lace, with a poppy brooch at heart and a regimental insignia brooch, plus a diamond maple leaf pendant. Canada, oh Canada. And here in the kingdom, a new commemorative coin has been unveiled by Royal Mint, celebrating the King's 75th birthday, which is just around the corner, and it pays tribute to his passion for the natural world. And to mark the occasion, 75 people who are turning 75 years old this year will receive a special £5 coin in honour of the King's birthday. And you see oak leaves there. The oak leaves depict strength, morale, resistance and knowledge, and the delphiniums, a love of nature. It is edged with the extracts of a speech of King Charles's, restoring harmony with nature. Well, I thank you for restoring me, my dear. You are a tonic, you restore me, or as Queen Camilla might say, you revive me. Oh, my darling. Oh, my darling, you revive me. Oh, pass the smelling salts. Charlie boy, you will always be my king. I've missed you desperately, desperately. You revived me. Oh, God. Sorry, I do get carried away, but it is the romance. It is the romance of that clandestine call, isn't it, my dear? Oh, you revived me. My pussy's on fire. Oh, dear. Well, that's enough naughtiness, isn't it? Naughty, Rilla, naughty. I will see you next time, my dear. Leave me your fruity and juicy thoughts. And if I was a tonic for you, my tip jar is in the description box below. Thank you, my dear. Ta-ra and toodle pip.